Hey, brace yourselves. I'm going to give you a very psycho answer to a question that doesn't deserve a psycho answer. Sorry.
A better you starts today.
All right, so people keep writing to me. They keep saying, I can't find a job in this current economic crisis. Yeah, well, I'd imagine so, right? I'd imagine that fairly soon, globally, we are going to see a bunch of people with accordions sitting at the bottom of bridges going, well, the sad versions. That was kind of a merry old hoedown on a pirate ship. I think it was more of a yeah, there'll be that. There'll be dogs down there looking for sausages that aren't there, and then the hobos start ripping the dogs' legs off and eating them. And then they start ripping off their own legs. So, yeah, that's my prediction. 3 months away from 50% of the population doing that. Okay? If I'm wrong, not betting anything on it. Oh, win-win. But always look for them in life, kids. I think that the thing is, everybody is always looking for, I'm looking for a job. I can't find a job. And yeah, jobs are great. Jobs are very important, obviously. That's true. And yes, it's just like when in social and economic upheaval, when there is these moments where the economy is contracting and everybody's finding it rough, especially if you're entering the job market, they ain't got none. They've got jobs for people that are at the very top, but what they're looking for is that nice sweet spot, like me. That Simpsons thing of, I'm a white male aged 26 to 36. Everybody listens to my ideas, no matter how stupid they are. Nuts and gum together at last. But they're looking for that, right? They're looking for somebody with experience and skills and not at that age where they have to retire like 3 weeks later. So they're looking for that nice little middle ground. Those are the people that are going to be in demand because they're always in demand. The thing is, you always need to remember this about the economy. For the top 20% of any field, what recession? There's never a cloud in the economic sky for those people because they are producing and everybody knows that they're producing. However, you also need to know that there are examples. I remember reading about this realtor. She used to just go to Tony Robbins' like business improvement seminars every year. And she is every year in her region top performing realtor. Every single year. And she was saying that she loves the downturns. She loves them. Why? Because all of the flaky shit real estate agents start dying out. Sorry, so what I'm getting at here is you're one of the shit real estate agents. No, look, my point is, in these economic downturn times, they are brutal for people who are trying to enter. They are brutal for people who just aren't performing. But for people who are performing, they love these moments because it just shifts away a lot of their competition. Those that are doing well expand. What am I saying for you? What I'm saying is, and I know this sounds brutal, but I think that a lot of what is happening like in today's world is that for reasons that are much larger than you could ever hope to fit, right? And like, you can't get angry at any politician for these. You can't get angry at any business for this. This is just the way of the world in a hyper-competitive, techno-feudal society that we live in, which is that it seems to be rewarding more and more uniqueness. It seems to be rewarding less and less people that actually do just fit into a job. What am I saying? In the future, there is going to have to be more and more people that just create their own jobs. And even when I'm talking about this, like with my channel, a lot of the people that come to me and want to work for me, usually they are unique in themselves. They have a unique set of skills, usually. Sometimes they fit like nice, neat little boxes, but a lot of the time they're kind of just an anomaly of a person that has these very specific skill sets. And then they enter this business and they're kind of just like a... You know, like the business was doing its own thing and they go, and then it just improves exponentially because they're there. And then another one goes, and then it improves exponentially and they go there. That's what's happening. So I want you to know that. I want you to know that in the future, I think that a lot of you are just going to have to create your own job. I think that a lot of you have been lied to. I know that this is a brutal reality. In a way, it's brutal. In another way, it's very liberating. Now, some people are still going to be able to fit into like the traditional job market. But the thing is, I honestly think that the traditional job market year on year is shrinking. Even in these massive corporations, I think that year on year it's shrinking. It might not be shrinking in terms of the enrollments that they're having, but in terms of what they want an accountant to do traditionally, no. Now they want an accountant that's also like a payroll master, that's also a human resources manager. They want all of these things in one. So if you're just kind of thinking like, yeah, but I've ticked all of these boxes for the business. Now there's always going to be the nepotism case of, yeah, no, you're not getting it. I think that usually the best thing to do in these situations, and I feel like I was like at the tide of this, like our generation especially, millennials, I feel like it was starting to waver. For Gen Z especially, this is going to be the case. You are going to have to create your own job field. Like you are going to have to be self-employed. A lot of you are going to have to do that. You're going to have to create like a very specific tailored business yourself if you want to succeed in the future. In the past, I think that there was a lot of success that came from this company is going like, that's still going to happen, right? There's still going to be the startups and all that jazz. But now it's kind of just so tightly knit and people can find each other so quickly and easily. Like with Friendly Geordies, there was just people that were very talented around me from the beginning. Not from the beginning, but like a few years in that were just like, yeah, I think I can help with this project. And then it kind of just built its way from there. And they were able to find me through connections, but also just through social media. Like people that just had no connection to it at all were just kind of like, yo, can I have a job? And I was like, yeah, okay, we'll give you a go. You know, that kind of happened. But the thing is, I was like a startup in a way, but somebody needs to start the startups. Someone needs to do that. So I know that this is very brutal, especially saying this in a downturn period. It probably should be saying something that I should be saying like, you know, hey, winter's coming and you should prepare for it, but winter's here. And, you know, there's no teacher like experience. I think that for you to insulate yourself the next time, it's probably better to be thinking about yourself. One, everybody should be thinking about themselves like this, regardless of whether you're employed or not employed. Everyone is self-employed. Why do you want to be thinking about yourself as self-employed? Because it puts it on you to upskill. It puts it on you to develop. You're not just this box that goes to work, you drop it, you go home. I think the rest of the world is becoming Japan and Japan is becoming the rest of the world, oddly at the same time, because they're just like, why bother growing anymore? We know we're on the decline. But I don't know why they're Italian. They seem to really like Italians for some reason. Get over them. And so that's what you need to start thinking about yourself as, is just, I think we do live in a day and age where the 8-hour shift just isn't enough. You need to be constantly upskilling the whole time. The other thing that I think just psychologically, while you're going for these jobs and you're getting rejected, I read this comment the other day on this channel that was like, I got rejected from a chick the other day and my immediate thought was, yes, a step in the right direction. But I do think that about rejection. You need to instill that in yourself. Instead of just focusing all the time on the fact that I'm getting rejected. No, you're putting yourself out there. You're putting yourself out there instead of just sitting there and moping at home and saying it's all too hard and going to Centrelink. No, you're going out there every day, you're knocking on doors, beating them down. Every time you're getting rejected, you're learning something anyway. So that's great in itself. But I also want you to start thinking about yourself as, how can I fit in this world as like a unique entity? And usually the way to do that, I think in this day and age, is start your own. Start your own job. If you cannot find one, start your own. I cannot tell you how relieved and happy I would be if when I was knocking on doors being like, yo, can I have a job in media and shit like that, they were just like, yeah, come in. Here you go, here's a television studio for you. But the thing is, look, I created something on Friendly Geordies that only a few people in America had, let alone Australia. No one really in Australia had my job. There was like a few Jon Stewarts and John Olivers in the United States. Out of a population of what, 300 million? There was like 4 of those guys. I think I created that in a country of 20 million, out of nothing, sculpted it. Because I saw that there was a need for it. And I think that that's the case. There's a bunch of needs for a bunch of things. This is the thing that's very interesting about the modern age that we're in. There are limitless needs that need to be filled. And if you open your eyes to those limitless needs and you start sculpting yourself into, I can become an entity that serves that need, specifically that need. as opposed to just going to a job and being like, I tick these boxes. You're sitting there and just being like, no, this is something that I've noticed in society that's inefficient. If you can fill that gap, you'll be employed for life. And by employed, I mean, regardless of whether it's a small business, whether you're self-employed, whether it becomes a big business, whether it just becomes a corporate thing of like, no, we need that. I think that it really comes to, no, I've really identified like very unique problems in these fields. Now, one more final piece of advice when it comes to these. When you are presenting yourself in resumes, when you are, the thing where you sit down and they're just like, so tell me about your qualities. I think that a lot of the time, a lot of you are always saying, I've done this, I've been to this university, I'm really good at doing handstands. And then they sit there, yes. We do need somebody we need amusement during our lunches. Right? So, might work, but I think that a lot of the time, what you really should be looking at when you're going for these job interviews is you should be looking at the morale, the ethics, and the values of the place that you're going. If they do have a mission statement, that would be great. If you can find their mission statement, that's a really good key into the place that you're going to work for. What you are looking for is to explain to them, I know why you do what you do. Like the reason for you guys getting up in the morning and coming to work as a collective. I understand what that is, and I fit in with that. I believe in the same thing you believe. You want to be starting with that. After that, then you can go into like, I've been to Harvard, I'm qualified with this. But the thing is, I think that what they really want is this intuitive thing of like, this person's going to fit in. They're not going to be a problem when they're here. That's what's really scary about hiring new people. You're always just like, they're going to fuck me over in some way. If you can just get that out of their head that no, like I'm down with the cause. That's a good in. Anyway, if you like that, make sure that you sign up to Jordan Shanks because I have a bunch of that information behind there that can help you get ahead massively. Come on, as if I don't deserve money just for the dimes that I just dropped on you. You know how much the money cost me just then for the information that I gave you? That was hundreds of dollars of books. Hundreds of dollars of books. You're going to sit there and say like, yeah, I could download it for free now. Yeah, you can download it for free. You're going to read it? No. You're going to listen to me, obviously, because you're a lazy piece of shit. And on top of that, what are you going to spend your $2 on anyway? Fucking Twiz bars or something? You can't because of inflation. So make sure that you sign up because it's honestly the cheapest, best use of your money that you can ever do. I honestly do think this. Every dollar that you spend investing in yourself is the best money that you can possibly invest in. There's no other investment that you can put it in. Like, let's be honest, you're not going to be putting that $2 in stocks, but I truly, genuinely believe that everything that you put into self-development is going to give you a far better return than stocks ever will. Because stocks is just a little graph like this. But not only does self-improvement allow you to get more money so that you can put more money into that graph in the first place anyway, I honestly think that, like, I can't tell you how much money I've made over the years that I can always just attribute back to, no, it's because I learned this one little insight from self-help out of reading the hundreds of books. One of those little insights, that was the thing that I just thought, no, okay, all right, like I'll go down that path. And then bam, times 10 the income. It's incredible because you don't know what you don't know. I know. Okay? So it's all behind that paywall. Make sure that you pay for it. Get up and sign up to Jordan Shanks membership. There's 3 extra videos a week out of that. Come to the seminars for the exact same reason, but that's immersion. That's the next step. That's the like, hey, you're paying to be here. Pay attention now. And it's just, there's something always about being in that live environment with a bunch of other people that are like-minded. First off, you meet other people that are like-minded. And you start these like little mentor programs. That's great. But then the other thing on top of that is, like, you just... It's the same reason that I still go to seminars to this day. The idea never imprints the same as why you're there live. It's the same reason as like why it's an absolute travesty that schools are moving out and going onto their little screens. It's so much better when you're just there. So make sure that you're there. Make sure that you come to the Brisbane show. Make sure you come to the Sydney show. Make sure you come to the Adelaide show. I think there's more coming. I think there might be one in Perth. I don't know. Look, I've talked enough.